Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today you get the full package of Imperial Russian Dreadnoughts deleting helpless, especially premium cruisers. And we are just into the match, and we are about to pick ourselves the target that just spawned in less than 9 kilometers away. And already 9 305mm shells are in the air, and we just wait for the salvo to land. 3, 2, 1, and the last shell hitting the water actually doesn't hit the water, but a random cruiser that I didn't even aim for. So tightly packed did the enemy spawn on a map that we first saw in the use with patrol boats. And well, this is then where I just want to make a little bit of an introduction to what I want to kind of prove with this video. Two things: how good the ship is and how wrong the situation is. I wanna just focus here on the positive aspects. I think I'm done with ranting here. I like the ship. I like the ship a lot. I put a talisman on it, and it is absolutely worth it in my opinion, if you get it from Gaijin. The majority of you don't get this, and so you end up in a premium cruiser, and then you end up on the receiving end of those 12-inch guns, which are really nasty. So now let's talk about the ship. Let's make it quick, right? This is the Imperatritsa Maryia. I hope I pronounced this right. It's a Ganget class dreadnought, and it sits at battle rating 6.0. It's from 1916. It has 4 triple 12-inch 42 pattern 1907 guns with 1200 rounds of ammunition. That is more than enough to go through any battle. The secondaries are 20 130mm 50 pattern 1913 cannons. I think they are similar to some of the destroyers that you have in the Russian/Soviet Navy. And then you have some 4 75mm 50 Canad pattern 1892 cannons at Mellor mounting with 1000 rounds. The armor on the ship is of the distributed armor scheme, and at its thickest, I think it is 262 of rolled homogeneous armor, which is okay-ish. You have an icebreaker, an upper belt of 75mm. So this ship is not as tanky as some of the other dreadnoughts, but it's about the alpha strike. There are ships in War Thunder that also have 12 guns, but only this and the Poltava can bring all 12 guns into a single broadside. So if you think about the Japanese and British dreadnought and the 2 German dreadnoughts, they have both. They have all 4 of them broadsides of 8 guns. Then there's obviously the reload. The British have 40 seconds, the Germans have 20 seconds, and you and the American dreadnought are on the same scale, with the American having 30 seconds and the Imperatritsa Maryia together with the Poltava have both 33.3 seconds. It's a weird number, but you know. And that allows you to get a single salvo, the heaviest salvo in the game right at this moment in the air. And those are some excellent 12-inch guns. The accuracy is alright, and then we have 3 shell types. We have the 12-inch high explosive shell, pattern 1911, that is your stock round, and it has 762 meters per second muzzle velocity. So that is not as fast as I was used to from the World War II heavy cruisers with their 8-inch guns, or the Admiral Graf Spee, which have more than 900 meters per second. So it's a bit slower. But the explosive mass, nearly 48 kilograms of TNT bursting charge, 91 millimeters of penetration against all angles at any distance. So in theory you can punch clean through a lot of the heavy cruisers' belt armor and cause excessive flooding and fires, etc., etc. Is this already the point where we get kamikazed by people that don't like me? I guess so. So that was one aircraft. There is the second one. And just in a moment, there comes the third one. Anyway, I was talking about the ammunition. So HE, the standard HE, doesn't really work that well. Then we have, as a tier 1 modification, the 12-inch AP pattern 1911 APCVC round, same massive velocity, and 13 kilograms of TNT bursting charge with 520 millimeters of penetration, and at 10 kilometers still 341. That is already a pretty good AP shell, one of the best in the game actually, but the actual best shell is the one and only, the 12-inch SAP pattern 1911. So that is a semi-armor piercing capped ballistic capped shell, and same muzzle velocity, but 55 kilograms of bursting charge with 390 millimeters of penetration at point blank range. And you just saw what it does to cruisers even at distance, because it still has 245 millimeters of penetration. The damage that you cause is just absurd. It is absolutely outrageous, and I absolutely love it. And to be honest, and I'm not making here any fancy jokes or what, I really feel sorry for all the ships that are on the receiving end of this ship's barrels. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And especially now facing excessive amounts of cruisers and even destroyers that can meet this battleship. It's not fun for the people at the receiving end. I can't imagine the rage, the frustration, the anger of those people, especially those who have now the premium cruisers at 5.7, which are now hilariously obsolete. Think about, I mean, honestly, think about the British premium cruiser, the Belfast. It has no chance and will fight battleships the longer the patch continues. And that is not how it should be. I warned of this repeatedly. So here we are, exactly in the situation that I predicted, which is not what I hoped to see, but again, leaving that aside. Now, the drawback of this ship, as we can see in this battle, is the lack of AA. It effectively hasn't any effective one. Only on the turret roofs there are some low caliber ones. And yeah, you lack any sort of light or mid AA. The 130mm guns do not double function as AA. Oof. Yeah, just imagine that guy in his stock Krasny Krim, Krasny Kafkas, you know, all those ships. They have to fight this ship. This is not fun. This is not for me as a YouTuber. It's perfect. I just had to play a couple of battles, getting this footage and just show you, you know. And I hope you enjoyed that. I cut out here the long waiting phases, and it's just the pure action, the pure shooting, and the pure obliteration. Yes, it's really nasty. So even if, and you will see this in just a moment, even if you don't alpha strike the ship immediately, you do so much damage, you cause so much flooding, so much fire, you cause also a lot of guns to be demolished. So the enemy cruiser captain has his hands full in organizing all the repairs, you know, and if you let them run simultaneously, they get excessively long, and by that time you burn down, you just drown, or you just randomly explode when the fire goes through the magazine protection. It is absolutely wild, and that is exactly the situation that we once had again in our forces with the Admiral Graf Spee. So, in all honesty, I expect here numerous things to happen. More and more people will get frustrated. They open their wallet and they just buy themselves the Dreadnoughts. They don't care about their failed investment in the premium cruisers, and they get straight ahead. That is one portion of the player base. The other portion just tries to suffer through and, you know, to grind quote-unquote normally. And also another portion will just stop playing altogether. But this has been in the playstyle of the game for 8 years plus, so take it or leave it. It's not my decision to make. That is how Gaijin devs run the game. This is how I warned you guys from. Anyway, so here we have the situation. There are 3 enemy ships, and watch. They just came around the corner. First one. It's beautiful. It is absolutely horrible for the enemy, but for me it's beautiful. It's stunning. This is the perfect Alpha Strike monster of War Thunder. And, you know, versus Cruiser, your armor is enough. It might not hold up in a Dreadnought fight, and, you know, to be honest, the Graf Spee can get dangerous as well. But watch this. Yeah. A bowing Cruiser just getting absolutely obliterated. You have so many shells, they have such a heavy bursting charge, the accuracy is that decent, and it just takes no prisoners. And armor doesn't really matter versus the ship. Only other Dreadnoughts can withstand the Alpha Strike, and you know, then you have to pound them into the dust, which takes a surprising long time. I'm looking forward to a Dreadnought versus Dreadnought fight. And I want to see which kind of other battleships can take on this Soviet, well, actually Imperial Russian monster. Oof. Brutal, but beautiful. But so long, I'll think that I'll power grind fighting the cruisers. So, yeah, at least you don't have to play patrol boats anymore, right? Right? Oh my god, it's so disastrous. So another thing is that it doesn't really matter how many kills that you get and how fast that you get them, because you can always only shoot at one target and not the entire enemy team at once. I'm saying this because the patrol boats still decide the outcome of the battle. So that is something that you absolutely have to keep in mind. And just watch this premium cruiser here, giving perfect broadside coming around the island, and just training all 12 guns on him, already adjusting the distance, and just waiting, shooting, observing, and giggling like a madman. So I was saying, what is the drawback of those ships at the moment? Well, it is actually in 3 different categories. First of all, your lack of AA, leading to one of the worst cases of rock, paper, scissors that I've seen in any game. Point number 1. Point number 2, you're really slow and unmaneuverable. So if hordes of torpedoes get spammed your way, you not always can dodge. And you also are not really the best capping machine in the game. You just don't get there in time. And point number 3, you're really irrelevant for the outcome of the battle, because, as I said, a patrol boat will just randomly capture a point and you will never get there. So in order to revert this, you have to get out of the battleship or the Dreadnought and then just hop into a patrol boat. Now this, I guess it's a Maxim Gorky. This is the first salvo that I fire at him with 9 out of the 12-inch guns. Let's have a look at the result. I killed him. Doesn't really matter because, well, he capped A. None of my teammates is in the vicinity. But I don't want to bail out of the ship. So, ugh. Now the combination strikes in its negative form. I can't cap in time. I'm too slow, I'm too unmaneuverable, and I have no AA. So every single plane in the game can strike this Dreadnought and all the other Dreadnoughts as well with impunity, more or less. I'm just glad that he has here this puny tiny 60-kilogram bombs that barely do any damage. And then he comes again with another attack. Yeah, I get strafed quite a lot. People enjoy this. But as you can see, the cap is nearby, but we lose just a minute after this. And that is the Imperatritsa Maryia. Beautiful ship, amazing firepower, the absolute king of Alpha Strike in the game. But as beautiful as it is so much more frustrating for the enemy. And Let me know in the comment section what you think about this ship, the Soviet battleships in general, and especially overall the new naval changes. How do you experience them? Are those the glorious changes that you awaited, or is it a little bit of a disappointment? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like with it, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the battlefields, in the skies, and on the waves of War Thunder.